Hey everybody! Alright, so we had some people requesting, because Bridget spoke of it many times on camera, about how that she turns my bar number 11, which kills fleas and ticks and chiggers, anything creepy crawling and running around on you, and fleas and ticks on dogs, into something that she can use on her for her children to prevent them from getting
head lice
at school.
Yes.
And so you can pick up a bar of bar number 11. Now, the recipe that she's showing you is the equivalent of 2 bars of number 11 being used. You're also going to need 3 quart jars.
At least.
A funnel. Okay. It can be one of those canning jar funnels, you know, that has the bigger opening. Alright. You might want to use a grater.
Yeah.
You're going to need a pot. How much water's in the pot?
There's 2 cups in here right now, and I've got 2 cups standing by.
Okay, so 2 cups standing by, and then also a whisk.
And then a whisk.
Okay, all right. And you can grade the soap. And it's really quite easy to do to grade when you're using the bar. It's got something to really hold on to.
And it's fresh bar, too.
Yeah.
That helps.
But, we're using the end scraps, which is commonly what you use, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not what I always use.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do with those is we're going to cut them up.
Because they've been up there aging.
Yeah, these, every time there's an end scraps on bar number 11, we save them separately because we bath our dogs in them. We use them for ourselves, for keeping bugs off, and also if we get deer ticks or chiggers, which Steve gets a lot of. I don't know why, but the deer ticks just love him, and the chiggers love him, and so he uses a lot of number 11. So every time we make bar number 11, we save the end pieces, and then we do stuff like this with it, or we just use it. So,
and Daddy loves it.
Oh yeah, and Randy, my ex-husband, he loves this soap. It's the only soap he uses.
Yep.
So put those in. So we're making really small salad cubes. And go ahead and turn the heat on while I'm cutting. And what temperature do you put this on?
Between low and medium.
Between low and medium.
Closer to the medium to get it boiling.
And the reason that you want to keep your heat down is because if you've ever put a bar of soap in the microwave and you've seen it volcano, that can happen in this pot.
Yes.
Okay?
And then you have molten liquid as well as soap. And it's not fun.
And the salad cubes takes a little bit longer to dissolve.
Yeah.
If you shred it up really good, it dissolves faster.
Yeah, it takes what, about 20 minutes? Something like that?
Yeah. So when you do the salad cubes with your scraps, if you make this soap at home and you don't grate it, but these pieces are so hard cured from sitting up there, and also you know, because. And also they're, what do you call it, they're so skinny. It's hard to grade these.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe a food processor was in order.
well, you know, that's a good idea. But with the fact that these bars are so thin, they would have
just gone flat in the blade.
And
yeah.
Dang,
I was hoping I could get it faster.
Yeah. But salad cubes it is for this recipe.
Yep. And you don't want it to boil. You just want it at that pre-boil kind of steamy heat.
Okay, Bridget. Wait, let me get this one that got away. Okay. You know what I would do? I would turn it up on high to get it going. And then I would turn it down. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit.
Because I'm always impatient. I'm very impatient. I have no patience. Ask anyone who knows me. I have no patience.
None at all.
No patience. It's like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's half melted now. It gets all bubbly and liquefied. You can see the soap liquid forming. Awesome. And you just sit, and at this point you have to sit and stir the whole time.
Okay. So you're going to stir continuously from now on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's starting to boil.
Yes.
And
I've already turned the heat down. I will turn it down.
I'm gonna set it off for a little bit and let it cool just a tad before we put it back on the heat.
Okay.
But see, it had started to swell. It's about like right there now.
Yeah,
in the pot.
Yeah, and that's what happens if you get it too hot. But that extra heat will cause it to melt faster, won't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, but you run the risk of explosion.
So, the last time we were doing something like this, we didn't have a spoon. I'm gonna get a spoon.
And it's actually
And a spatula.
it's getting there. We might actually get like the stick blender and go bzzz.
That's a good idea. Okay.
I think Stevie's here. Yep, I hears him.
I've not seen any lumps.
There are very few.
There's very few.
Yeah, putting
Putting it on the extra heat and staying right with it and watching it and everything, it made it happen quicker. My table's coming apart. There we go.
Yeah, must have been on that banging from the last video. Have we got some sitting up in the top?
There was some right there. Hey, baby, did you get off the freeway?
Yeah.
Did you? Finally. Come here. Uh-oh. We forgot part of it.
Oh no. Well, at least they're shaped up already, so.
Okay. So, right here. So, everybody wants to know what happened to you on the freeway.
I got caught by a wreck.
Uh-huh.
Bad wreck.
A bad wreck. And you were stuck on the freeway for how long?
An hour and 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
He was stuck on the freeway for an hour and 40 minutes. That means somebody died, right?
Probably.
Yeah. And so after an hour and 40 minutes, somebody got some sense and started getting y'all guys off?
Yep.
How'd they get you off?
Turn around.
They started working you to turn around?
There's a turnaround right there, right by the wreck.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
goodness.
right. You walked up to them and you're like, can I go through this turnaround? They're like, no, get back in your cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but finally somebody with some sense.
State troopers.
The state troopers come, and sense prevailed, and they said, let's get these people off the freeway before they start peeing on us.
Either that or to help them get
Rioting.
vehicles in there. They're fighting to get the cars, the emergency responders in there.
Uh-huh.
And all they had to do is start sending everybody that way.
Yeah, because there was a
All I had to
turnaround, you know how you'll see a place where cars can go from one freeway side to the next?
Or the state troopers will sit and hide.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's his favorite spot.
Yeah, and so there was one just 4 cars up from you.
Yeah, you had the wreck turnaround, right? The wreck was just past the turnaround.
Oh.
I mean, at the turnaround.
I can't imagine that the first car right there didn't just go ahead and go.
It was a truck.
Oh, it was a transfer truck. That is the curse of it then. That's what happened.
They're not allowed to go through the turnaround.
Well, they're not
But they
capable
can't- Yeah,
of
they
going.
are.
Oh, they are? If that one there, he could go through?
Yeah, it's actually paid fairly.
Oh,
Barely.
okay.
Yeah, but they're
Well-
not supposed to. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
supposed to.
Well, if the police tell you to do it, you do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I asked him, they said, no.
No, get in your car.
Yeah. Well, he was mad, and I don't blame him. People were taking pictures on their cell phone of that.
Oh, that's so disrespectful.
That is, and here's some lady off the side I couldn't see, I didn't want to see, you know.
What kind of cars was it that wrecked?
Well, that's what worried me, because Ken left, he's always ahead of me. He drives fast.
Did you make sure it wasn't him
I
before you
think it was
left?
a Nissan.
Is that bad?
No, that's good. He drives a Honda, but it's brand new. So I don't know for sure, because I don't see that good, but it looked round, and Hondas aren't round.
The headlights.
No,
The body shape.
The
Oh. Oh, okay.
You know where it's got the car type? I can see the
Was it
truck.
just cars or was it
It was a truck.
a transfer truck?
Oh,
People
There
just
was
don't-
2 cars and a transfer truck, I know, I can see,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Oh.
Have you ever
And
got
then
Frank?
that one truck, the one that was right there, keeping me from getting there,
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him a little bit, he said he thought it was a head-on or something. Now, how could you have a head-on?
I don't know either.
Unless somebody came through the turnaround
Oh.
and went the wrong way. But I
Well,
don't believe that's what
a lot of
happened.
times with head-ons, people lose control and they come all the way across the freeway and enter into the
Not
other
here,
lane.
they didn't. No way that happened.
Because it had the guardrails up.
It's too wide and there's guardrails, I mean, you just couldn't do it there,
Curve.
so.
All right. So, thanks for telling us because we were like talking about it, so I figured people would want to know.
I wanna know what happened.
Yeah.
Well,
They
All
never
right.
know, they
It'll
don't
be
really
better.
tell you what happened.
We're gonna finish this video really quick, like guys, so that Steve and I can go home because it's late.
so
And,
shall we have Steve bring us the blender bits? Because it's almost
done.
done.
The
I
stick
bet you-
blender end, the end to the stick blender.
Yeah. It should
Steve?
be floating around over there. It might be down in the
Right.
sink. It's rinsed. You can just grab it and bring it here.
This,
Yes.
Yep.
what you want?
Yep. I rinsed it.
We just made another video on how you make your laundry detergent.
I'm making laundry detergent.
We
I
did.
it. All right.
Okay, so make sure you've got a firm grip on the pot
Yes.
and hang on. Okay, it's gonna be loud, guys. It's gonna be loud. Oh, look how fast that is. All right. Okay, so now, before we do anything else, tell me what's gonna happen next.
So next we set it off the eye and let it cool just a tad bit so that it doesn't melt the plastic funnel. And we pour it into the quart jars to sit overnight and cool.
Okay, I don't think it will melt the pool.
You don't think so? I bought these really nice plastic pump bottles that were real good, thick plastic, and I poured the liquid soap into them. They started going like this.
I've done that before.
And it was the good thick plastic ones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, not as good as I thought.
Okay, so do you fill this all the way up with it, or just like halfway and then the rest water?
I don't add any other water to it. This is
Okay.
it.
Okay, so 2 cups of water to 2 bars of my bar number 11.
Yep. And then I pour it into this to cool. And then in the morning, when it has solidified, that should be good. Woo! Yeah. The fuzz.
The bubbles.
So yeah, we ran right at 2 jars.
Okay, 2 quart jars.
And that's my normal amount.
All right. Okay, so now,
These will sit and they'll solidify.
hang on. I wanna. So these, you're just gonna sit them on the counter. You don't put a lid on them.
Nope.
And that's because it will have expansion problems if you do because of the heat. So don't
Yeah.
put a lid on them. You can lay a paper towel over the top of them if you
Yeah.
want to keep debris from getting in them or flies, whatever. Okay.
Although
And
bugs don't normally bother this soap whatsoever.
that's true. I was just gonna say.
I've never
this
had a bug get in these soaps.
This is bar number 11. No bug wants to be anywhere near it.
Nope.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to end up with about 3/4 of a jar on this one, and maybe about that once
Yeah.
the foam dies on this one.
Yeah,
So
but
now
it still
this is going to.
swells a little bit.
Uh-huh.
As it thickens, it'll probably be around right here when it's done.
Okay.
And then this one will come up closer
Okay.
to the top.
So both of these jars by morning.
Will be cooled and solidified. They'll be kind of clumpy and jello-ish, a bit like, like that silly putty clay, you know, like it's kind of fun to play with.
Okay. All right. So
It's
then,
lovely.
what will you do then?
Then I will bring in my pump bottles from used shampoo bottles, and I'll have rinsed them out really, really well. and I'll get a smaller funnel, and I'll pre-mix those up really good and make sure they're liquid, and then I'll pour them.
Are you talking about that you'll stick the stick blender back down in here? No.
If possible. But my little one fits down in there.
Okay, so otherwise, can you dump this out into something and stick blend it and then pour it? And now, do you just fill it up all the way, or do you add water to the pump box?
I just fill it up all the way. That's it. And it's nice and thick, and it washes.
Okay, and do you have to shake it or anything?
Yes. Sometimes you have to shake it, but being a pump bottle, it just sucks it up. It don't care if it's thick and clumpy or not.
Okay.
I found trouble using it in one of those ones where you turn it upside down and squeeze. Like, having to shake it got kind of tiring when I've got kids going everywhere in the bathtub. I don't have time. I'm pump, 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 and scrub.
Okay. All right, so these 2 jars right here will, whatever this fills up, you don't add any extra water. This is it. It's done.
Yep.
And the only thing you have to do is just blend it well tomorrow.
To liquefy enough to go into the bottles.
Okay. And then this, because we have the tea tree and everything in here, it keeps the bugs off.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
there's something I forgot about.
What's that?
Okay. So let me get a thermometer, guys. I may have made a mistake in this apparatus.
Yep.
You know, I was thinking, you know, we just got to melt this. The faster, the better.
Let's see.
But what if we got it over 160 degrees? I didn't smell the essential oils flashing off, but
it still smells nice and strong.
yeah, it does smell here too. It still smells good here too. But yeah, it is hitting 170.
Yep.
So
we may have lost some cooking it the fast way.
yeah, so cooking it the fast way, we should have done it your way. See, it was my impatience. It was my bad.
Yep, slow and steady wins the race.
So we'll just have to wait tomorrow when you go to utilize this.
Yeah, when it cools, we'll know.
Yeah, so guys, you really, because of the fact that we're got essential oils in this soap that we don't want to kill, you need to be using a candy thermometer as you're whisking, and you do need to keep it on low and do it the slow way, and you need to make sure it stays under 160 degrees at all times during the heat, during the dissolving process. But you know, we made that mistake, and then that made me have the reasoning to tell people that, because somebody else might be impatient like me and think, oh, well, I'll just crank up the heat a little bit, and then they might end up having the same problem. And it may be that we won't have that problem, that because of the way we did it and the essential oils was in the soap already, it's a possibility that it won't cause us any trouble.
It still smells really nice.
It does. It smells normal. But there's a possibility that we degraded the essential oils a little bit by heating them up over 160. So when you're doing it, do it the slow way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And see, we didn't even need these 2 cups of water.
Yeah. Do you normally use them?
No, not normally. But just in case, because this pot's a little bit different in size than the one that I regularly use.
So you thought, well, you might end up needing we needed a little extra water with the last video. Okay, so you're gonna let this cool. Tomorrow, you could just stick a quart jar lid on it and just shake it and get it blended, and then just pour it right into your pump bottles. And ta-da, you have bar number 11 shampoo, and you can use
body wash.
And body wash. You can use it on your dog, your hair, your body. It's ready to roll, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay, Bridget, so we're doing day 2 clip. I didn't think we'd get to do this, but we did.
Yep.
And so to me, that looks pretty thick. I'm afraid to turn it upside down thinking that like the liquid will burst from the middle and pour everywhere. So anyway, so we're going to whisk it.
Yes.
I was always under the impression that you needed to add hot water to this, and then it was going to be a base. It was not going to be a liquid day 2, but I do see some liquid in there too. Am I seeing liquid in there too?
Yeah, it's becoming.
All right, there we go. So that your hand wouldn't be in the way of watching. There you go. So do you sometimes have to add a little water?
I added cocoa coconut milk to a batch once.
That got too thick?
And no, just to add coconut milk, because like everything on YouTube was like, oh yeah, add coconut milk. But I didn't like it. It made it too thin. I really like this consistency.
So this
It'll pump, once it's all mixed up, it'll pump right out of the pump bottle.
So this is it's a heavy paste
Yeah.
that will pump well out of a
Pump bottle.
pump bottle.
Yeah. Yep, that's perfect.
And so that's perfect, huh?
Yep.
Okay, move those.
But you see, it's just soapy.
Okay, so that's your perfect consistency.
Yep.
I've always made mine thinner, so I'm glad to know. So basically, it's a cup of hot water to 1 5-ounce, roughly 5-ounce bar of soap. Yeah, because I would have considered that a soap base that you would have added water to and made much thinner.
Yeah,
But-
you could if you wanted to. Like,
But
if you
with
wanted
this,
to make more,
yeah.
you know, make it go.
But all you got to do is just use a little bit. I mean, just a small pump, and you've got a full body's wash, right? Okay.
Yeah, I pump it out into a sponge.
You pump it onto a sponge?
Yeah, I pump it onto a sponge and then wet the sponge.
All right. Well, you wet the sponge and then you pump it on the sponge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way.
Either way?
Either way.
Okay. Well,
I'm usually rushing whenever.
so if you want yours thinner, add hot water to it and
Yeah.
blend well with a stick blender or something similar.
In like small tablespoon amounts. You don't want to add too much hot water.
Okay, so just add a little bit at a time.
And
A thick consistency also would not have to be shaken that much. I mean, it can't get gloppy and need to be shaken,
Yeah,
right?
mine never really has to be shaken whenever it's in the pump bottle, when it's like this.
Totally
I just
cool.
pump and it's done.
Totally cool. Thank you, Bridget, for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.